Hello everyone, welcome to another lesson. Today we are going to talk about Python turtle study, and we also talk about event listener, higher order functions, and finally we will create a turtle racing game. Okay, as you remember, we have studied turtle and what is a turtle. This is a package which contains many classes inside this package, and we use these classes to construct our own object. I want to implement the concept of object-oriented programming language. We have classes, and I want to create or construct our own object. We also studied how to create our own class. Okay. In today's lesson, we will talk about listen event listener in Python. Event listener means that we activate the screen to detect user interaction with screen.listen function. It means that when you create your application, you can interact with your application. For example, your application expects you to do something. Based on your interaction, it performs the action. And also there is another concept, key binding. Key binding means you can connect a specific key, your keyword key, to function using this function. Okay. And then we have event response. It trigger action based on the key presses. For example, mouse, you press the key, keyword key, and also, for example, mouse clicks or window events. Okay. Okay, to summarize, event listener transforms static drawing into interactive experience. They are the bridge between user input and program behavior, making your turtle graphic respond to a real-time command. Okay. What I mean by that, we have a very simple code, and in this case we import turtle module, and from that module we import this class turtle and screen. Okay. Once you import that, we will create our event listener. So what I mean by that, let me give you a demo. Okay, let me give you a demo. So from turtle import turtle screen, it should be like this. Okay, screen. Now we have to screen.listen. Now we create a function to work. Screen. It should be like this. Here. Okay, we have imported our turtle class and screen class, and in this case we constructed the object of that class, in this case team, and we also created a screen object from this screen class. In this case, if you want to create event listener, we have a method which is called screen listen. This method is located inside this class. In this case, we created its object. Now what we are trying to do, we create a method, in this case move forward, and for example your object should be moved forward 10 pixel. If you want to interact with this with your object. So in this case you use this method. This method contains two parameters. In this case you use the function that you have created and also the key. The key is, for example, space. Okay, this method is used to keep your window open. Now I want to give a demo so you can understand that better. Okay, now let me remove the code, and I want to write the code from scratch. As I said, we are working with the turtle module, and we have to import from this module turtle class and screen class. Okay, now I want to construct the object for this class. In this case, for example, lucky equal to turtle. This is the first object, and we have to create screen, in this case window, equal to screen class. So the window is the object of the screen. Now I want to keep the window open. How can I do that? This is a method exit on click. Let me run my code. You can see my window open. Now I want to change the color of lucky. First I have to change its shape. It should be turtle and lucky dot shape size. It should be, for example, let me 100 and 100, for example. So now let's change I have to make it a bit smaller. Okay, now you can see. One of you asked me how to can we change the shape of the our object, in this case turtle. Yes, we can change that with this method shape size. Okay, okay, this is also a bit bigger. Okay, no problem. Now I want to change its color. It should be, for example, red. Okay, perfect. Now what I'm trying to do, I want to explain this concept. Avant listener. Okay, avant listener. How can I implement Avant Listener with these two methods? First of all, you have to use this method, screen.listen. This enables and makes your program more interactive. So as I said, window, in this case, our object, Avant Listen. Now your window listens to your interaction. It means that it is listening to your click, and it also listens which button you are pressing, something like that. So it performs the action based on your expectation or your avant. Okay, this is the first method that you use, and this is the second method. In this case, which key you want to press so that your window perform that action. Okay, so we use this method. Now, as I say, window press on key. This is the function. It contains two parameters, in this case function and also object. Okay, now I want to create a function. In this case we don't have function, or we didn't define function. For example, I say move forward. This is the function that I want to create. I say okay. In this case my object is lucky, should be moved forward, for example 50 pixel. So right now if I want to use this function, as you can see, it contains two parameters. This is function, and we have also key. In this case, for example, our function should be this function, move forward. And the second parameter we have key. Key refers to the keyboard button. For example, in this case, I want to use space. Very nice. Right now, if I want to run my code, you can see if I want to press the key, you can see it is moving. It is moving. So this is called avant listener. You can see. You can change the key. In this case, for example, if I want to use, in this case, E. Right now, if I press E, my object, in this case turtle, is moving. Now I want to press E. You can see it's moving. This is called avant listener. Okay. To activate interaction with user or with your application, you use this function screen.listen. In this case, your window screen is listen to the avant that you want to perform, and you use this screen.onKey. It contains two parameters. The first parameter is function, and the another parameter is key, which is Windows keyword. Okay, now this is the code that I have implemented. So higher order function, what that means, this is this concept. You can see we have implemented or defined our function, and right now we use this function inside another function. This is another function, on key is another function. I use this function inside on key function. So in this case we do not use this parameter parenthesis. Okay, in this case if you want to use one function inside another function, you do not use this parenthesis. This is the concept. Okay, so now I want to use turtle coordinate system. Turtle coordinate system. What do I mean by that? I have implemented this code. Now let me run this code. In this code I have created many objects, in this case turtle object. Now I ask user, this is like a game, racing game, which turtle will win the race. Enter the color. For example, I have many turtle or many objects. Right now it asks user, you can guess which color will win the game. Right now, if I say the red will win the game, so let's check. In this case, I am wrong. Okay, you can see you lost. The blue turtle is the winner. So how can we create many objects, and how do we place this turtle from the beginning of the window? As you can see in my application, in this case, you can see if I run my code, it is placed at the center of my window. So now how can I move my object in this place? Okay, in this case you should understand the coordinate system. Okay, now let me create another file. I don't want to create another file. I just want to okay, now there is another function that you can define the size of your window. So my window now has its default size. Now if I want to change that, there is a function which is called setup. This setup, you can see we have two parameters, width, and also we have height. Okay, now I want to change the width to, for example, 500, for example 800, 700, for example, and the height should be, for example, 600. Okay, this is the size of my window. Now you can see my window is a bit bigger right now. You can change it according to your requirement. I want to change it to this size. Now you can see it is bigger now. It is bigger, which is not the correct size. It's okay right now. Yes, it is. It should be. Let me change it. Yeah, it is now the perfect size, and my turtle is a bit bigger. I want to make it smaller. For example, C1 should be the ideal shape size. C1. A 5 should be the perfect size, I think. Yes. Okay, right now what I'm trying to do, I want to move this turtle at the beginning of the window. So first of all, you have to understand the concept of turtle coordinate. You can see I have created the window size. The width is 800 and the height is 600. So what does that mean? Now if I want to create a paint to explain that. So for example, this is your turtle window object. As I said, the height is 600. This is 600, okay? This is 600 and the width is 800. Now we have coordinate system. If you remember from algebra, We have coordinate x, we have coordinate y, right? Now this point is 0, the value of x is 0 and the value of y is 0. We have x equal to 0 and y equal to 0. Now by default, if I don't define the x coordinate and y coordinate, my turtle is placed at the center. Right now this is at the center. It means that its x coordinate is 0 and y coordinate is 0. Now I want my turtle should be in this place. In this case, you can see this is, if I want to divide 800 divide by 2, now this should be minus, now this should be, for example, minus 1, and this point should be minus 200, and this point should be minus 400. Minus 400. Am I right? Because the size of the weight is 8. Now this is, for example, 2, because this is, the value is positive, and 400. Okay, this is the weight. This is the weight. If I want to define the value of height, because this is the positive, the value of x in this case is positive, so we have 6. If we divide 600, it should be 300 this side and 300 this side. So now, for example, this is 150, and this is, for example, 300. And similarly, we have minus 150, and this is 300, minus 300. Okay, perfect. So this is how the turtle coordinate system works. Okay, now you understood the turtle coordinate system. What I'm trying to do, I want to make, for example, if you want to move the turtle in this place, okay, how can we do that? In this case, the value of y is 0 and the value of x is 150. So let me change my code. So I want to place the turtle in this place. So we have a function, in this case, window dot go to. Window, oh sorry, you're working with this object. We have lucky dot go to, because we move our lucky object. Good. Now you can see we have 2 parameters. The first parameter is the value of x, and the second parameter is the value of y. So in this case, the value of x is, I want to place my turtle from this place to this place. The value of x changes from 0 to 150. Okay, x equal to 150, and y, the value of y is not changed. It is not changing. You can see the value of x is changed to 150 and the value of y is 0. So now let me run my code. No, it changed to another direction. Oh, I made a mistake, a huge mistake. We changed, this is the value of, this is y, right? And this is x. Oh, I made mistakes. Okay, now the value of x is 0 and the value of y is 150. Now it should be fine. You can see turtle is in this place. Now if you want to move the turtle at this place, how can you do that? According to my coordinate system, you change the value of y to minus 100 minus 150, and the value of x is not changed. So in this case we change to minus 150. I have to close my program and run it again. You can see it moved at this direction. Now our goal is to move the turtle in this direction, at this direction. How can we do that? So in this case, we change the value of x and the value of y is not changed. You can see this is the value of y and the value of x is changed. So now since it moves to the to this negative direction, so the value of y is, for example, minus 400. Okay, now let me change that. As I said, the value of y is not changed, the value of x is changed. In this case, for example, minus 400, that is the last value. In this case, minus 350, for example. If I want to change that, if I want to run my code, you can see perfect. Now my turtle is at the beginning of the window. Okay, very nice. So right now we can see the line. This is not very good idea that for each turtle we should draw the line as well. If you want to remove this line, so how can we do that? We have another function which is called pin up. This function enables or remove the line. Okay, now if I want to run my code again, you can see now I don't have line. Very nice. And as you can see in this program, I had many turtle. You can see I had many turtle. For example, if I want to, you can see I had many turtle, and right now they are moving. Okay, nice. How can we create many turtle? So this is the first object that we have constructed. If you want to create many turtle, it means that you can create many objects. Okay, in this case we have only one object. You can see we have only one object. Now I want to create many objects. How can I do that? In this case I want to say, okay, lucky 1. It was lucky and we have lucky 1. Okay, we use the same methods for each lucky. So in this case I can simply okay, first I want to create my object lucky 1, in this case from this class turtle, and okay, lucky shape is, for example, now if I want to run my code, so let's see what will happen. You can see we have two objects. This is the first object and this is the second object. Now I want to make this object which looks like similar to this turtle. So in this case we use lucky1 dot shape. It should be turtle, right? Now if I want to run my code again, you can see it changed to turtle. So you use, for example, the same methods that I used for the first object. For example, you can use lucky1 dot shape size. In this case 5, right? And its color should be, for example, different. In this case black. And now I have to move my turtle. You can see it is at the center. You can see it is at the center now. If I want to move that, now I want this kind of object should be placed or should be located at this position. How can I do that? Now I don't, yes, I have to change the value of y as well, the value of y coordinate as well, and the value of x coordinate as well. It should be at this place. In this case, the value of y is, for example, positive 100, for example, and the value of x is minus, for example, 100 and 350, for example. So how can I do that? I say lucky1.pinup. We don't want to draw the line as well, so we use this method, for example. Now we remove the line and we use the turtle position. Go to the value of x. In this case we said we change the value of x. We have to position this turtle at the same line. So in this case the value of x should be this one, minus 250. And if the value of y should be 0, now these two objects are located at the same position. You can see. Now you can see they are located at the same position. Right now I want to change the value of y. The value of y should be, for example, 100. Let me make it 200. Now let's run my code. Let me run my code. Perfect. Right now we have two objects which are located at different position. Now I want to create two other objects, one at this position and one at this position. Okay. Now you understood that how can we create many objects. We can simply copy the code and you have to change the name of the object. In this case, lucky2, and the size should be the same, and you can change it into green, for example. And the coordinate system, as you can see, we want all the turtle at this position. Okay, so the value of x is the same and the value of y is changed to a different value. Okay, the value of x in this case, x is equal to this value x is equal to this value. And we have to change the value of y. Okay, now you can see I get some error because it should be green like this. You can see this is the green, and now I didn't change it to 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, now let me run my code again. You can see these two turtles are placed at the same position. Right now what I'm trying to do, I want to move this, the green one, under the red one. How can I do that? You can see we have to change it from this plus to this position. So now the value of x remains the same and the value of y is changed to minus 150. Minus 100, for example. So let me run my code again. You can see now we have 3 turtles. And if you want to make another turtle to other one, so for example yellow and blue, one at this position and one at this position, how can we do that? We create other object. We only change the position, the coordinate system. So it should be, for example, blue, and it should be 100, 200, for example. Okay, now you can see now I make another object at this position. How can I do that? Okay, I have to change it to lucky 3. Lucky 3, lucky 3, lucky 3. Okay, now it's okay. If I want to create lucky 4 object, lucky 4, lucky 4, lucky 4, lucky 4, lucky 4, and lucky 4. The value of x remain the same. You can see it should be same, and it should be at this position. So in this case 200, the value of y. You can see now I want to change the color to yellow, for example. Now perfect. So we have created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 objects from the turtle class. Okay, now as you can guess, this is the concept of object-oriented programming. This is the beauty of object-oriented programming. You have only blueprint, which is in this case turtle class, and we have constructed many objects, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can construct million objects, you can construct 100 objects. Okay, so as you can guess, my code is not very clean, and this is not you can see we have repeated the same code 5 times. Okay, this is not very intelligent code. In this case, what I'm trying to do, I want to make it smaller. I want to use a logic to make my code more smaller and smarter. How can I do that? I want to make my application which performs the same functionality with few lines of code. You can see I want to make my application which performs the same functionality with few lines of code. How can I do that? In this case, I use for loop. Do you remember? We used for loop to repeat the same action again and over again. So I say for, in this case, total objects in range. As you can see, we have 5 objects. In this case, we have 2 parameters for our for loop. The first parameter in this case is our range. It should be from 0, it started from 0, and we have 5 objects. In this case, we use 6. Okay, because the value of 6 is not going to be executed. It will create object from 0 to 5. Okay, perfect. Right now I don't need these 4 lines of code. I remove that. Now I want to indent my code because it should be inside for loop. Okay, now if I want to run my code, you can see what is going to happen. Okay, I have created 6 objects which are placed at the same position and they have the same color. Now what I'm trying to do, I want to make different color for each object. How can I do that? In this case, if you remember the concept of list, I use list color of list, and inside this list I have many colors. For example, red. For example, I have green. For example, I have blue, and I have black, and I have yellow. Okay, now every time my code run or repeats, I say, okay, please go and choose pick up this color. In this case, color, this color should be picked every time this object is created. In this case, turtle object. Now let me run my code again. Color got unexpected keyword argument color. Okay, it should be colors. Okay. Okay, I made a mistake. Sorry. Now it should be fine. It should be fine right now. Perfect. Now our program runs as expected. As you can see, we have created multiple colors, an object with multiple colors. Okay, you can see again list out of range 1 2 3 4 5, and we have 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, we have to create another, or we can 0 to 5. Now it should be working okay, because we have 1 2 3 4 5 colors are our range. In this case it was 6 object. Okay, that's why we get this error. Now if I want to run my code again, you can see now we don't get error. Okay, now we have solved the color and the color issue. Now we want to place our object at different position. How can we do that? We also create Y position. Okay, Y position. As you can see in the graph, the value of X is not changed, it is the same. We only need to change the value of Y, this position. Okay, that's why we want to create a list for the Y position. For example, in this case 150. Value of Y should be 0, 150 and 200. 1 2 3 4 5 and minus 150 minus 200. 1 2 3 4. We have this 5 position. You can see the value of X is not changed, it is this value minus 350, and only the value of Y is going to be changed. Okay, that's why we create Y position list. So right now if I want to run my code again, you can see all my objects are placed at the same position. So right now what I'm trying to do, I say every time you create this object, total object, you place this value of Y in Y position. Y position every time you create this object, total object. Okay, now let me run my code again. You can see now they are placed at different position. You can see the position is not very good. We have to change that. For example 100, 130 and 170, 30 and 70. Let me run my code again. Okay, again they are at different position. Position. I have to make it to 200, 200, 200. Now it should be fine. Yes, now they are placed at this different position and their distance is equal. So this is how can you construct. You can see with this line of code I created the same application which has the same functionality. I have created 5 objects, if you remember from my previous code. For each object I have repeated this code again and over again. So this is how you can make a smart code and more clean code. Okay, for the next time, what we are trying to do, we will make this object or these robots moving. We will create this object so they can move. Okay, we will create a racing game. So it is enough for tonight, and thank you very much, and see you next time.